Okay, so I'm going to do an on-the-fly mix. I've created 4 tracks. What should I call this one? Right. Alright, I'm going to go find some loops. What should I start with? What do I want to find first? Raise your hand if I should find the lead first. Accompaniment. Bass. Rhythm. Alright, so I guess rhythm it is. Moods. Ooh, what kind of mood are you guys in?
That's not preference, right? Cheerful.
Cheerful. Cheerful mood.
Angry.
Wow, I can't even. My brain hurts now. Well, I need to find rhythm, right? I'm not finding. Yeah, I got Tom. Oops, gotta get set here. Come on, Tom. Oh, I see what. Okay, well, I can't really handle the mood thing. I'm going to have to go into drums. Cool sound. But let's get what's that? Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it. I do too. Ghostly beat. All right, when we heard that beat, what did we hear? You already heard it. You can see it now. What do you hear?
Hi-hat, snare.
Hi-hat, snare. Tell me more qualities of this.
It's very low. The hi-hat's very quiet.
Okay.
Not a lot of high-end.
Okay, so it's got a real sizzly high end. It's got. What about the kick? What did we hear at the kick?
It's very low.
Very low, right? Not a lot of overtones in the kick. And what else are we seeing?
A lot of space.
A lot of space in there, right? We can see it visually. This is a good template for a song where we could put. You can see it. We could add very rich, full other sounds with it, or we could leave it very sparse. Depends on the song we want, right? But this gives us a lot of range. You know, a lot of openness. We have not taken up a lot of space so far. We're thinking about that already as the mix person, right? And there's a dog camping in there somewhere, right? Okay, what do we want next?
Some bass.
Some bass. So we're going to build this from the bottom up.
All about that bass, huh?
Just get the hardest bass you can find. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what are we hearing there? Do we like it? Should we put it in the accompany part? It says bass. Okay, so we still gotta find some bass, don't we? Slap. I like that one. Why is this one not working? Yeah, what's happening between that and our accompaniment? Right. So what do we have to do to mix? We'd have to EQ the heck out of one of them, make it not sound like what it's already sounding like, and it would make it sound worse. There's phase shifts and all sorts of stuff that happens when you start EQing too hard. When you hear something you like, make some noise. this so I can. Zipper bass is a good word for that. Jeez, man. Alright, I think I might go with these like. I'm gonna pick this one. Okay, so I picked that one because I still want to hear my mid-range, right? But what would we say about the quality of the sound right now? With that bass. What are we hearing?
It's low.
It's low, and it's a little muddy down there, right? Can you hear that? It's a little woody,
Yeah.
little hard to distinguish. So our ears have to work. Okay? Yeah. And that's the way it is, right? Just like we're having to work in that when we're arranging our song and we're having to have, God, we got to push that high a little higher so we can fit that accompaniment in so we can get that bass in. If my accompaniment is too low, God, I don't have enough room for my bass. We're thinking that way. That's the same way we're thinking on a mix. It's the exact same thing. Right? So it's a little murky down there, but I'm sick of looking for basses. So there it is. Plus the other ones had so much high frequency on them. They're treading on that accompaniment part, and they're going to tread on what? The other part. Right?
Lead.
All right, so we can find a little lead over the top of that. There's some bagpipes. Is there anything right there? Anything goes now, right? My song. Yes, I was random in picking these, but no, I wasn't as well. Look at the waveforms, right? Look at the different shapes I have in those waveforms. I know that those things, and I could hear it with my ear. You know, this one, look at all that space in that one, so a nice sustained sound over the top is going to work really well. It's not going to interfere with it. Got this real repetitive thing here, and I got this thing that's cutting in and out. And in fact, from a compositional standpoint, I might do something like that. I might, you know, have this only playing in spots where that bass isn't playing if I need more room. That's right. You know, I'm not going to do any of that right now. So we've got our four components together, which means we have a fairly full sound, right? There's no way around it. You're going to have a pretty full sound at this point. We've got a combination of percussive space, repetitive, not repetitive, sustained, and in-between sounds. That's how you make a song sound good. That's how you make a mix engineer very happy because they don't have to do much. Okay, so following my to the perfect mix for every song. First thing, I'm going to listen to my beautiful song. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, the most important sound is going to be the lead. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can bring these down. I'm just going to turn it down so it's a comfortable listening level for me. I set it to 0 here. I recommend doing that. Some people started at maybe a -3, but heck, do it at 0 at this point. Next most important thing is going to be that snare sound. Now this drum beat was pretty light on the snare, wasn't it? So I got to keep that in mind that that kick might be really loud. I just can't hear it. So I'm going to bring it up carefully. Bring in the bass. Bass builder. And I'm going to bring in the accompaniment. Try not to interfere with those stuff. this are designed for voice, not for music. So they're going to make the sax, the word of it, bagpipe, very loud. Right? It's right in that mid range. It's a very piercing sound. So this was a song where the lead part was the most important. I would do something like this. If the lead part wasn't, and I just wanted ambience in the background, I'd probably take that way down. I might do something like that, right? That's more of a dance song. Depends on the song. Much different sounds there, right? I'm pretty pleased with how I got those two put together, though. That was just level. Just level, right? Just 6 levels. Then I come back. I like that right there. Did I put this? Yeah, it's a little bit low. I find that's a little low. Any questions on that? That's level. That's how it works. Pan. Keep your lead instrument pan in the middle. Your bass, your kick and snare in the middle. Usually hi-hats and cymbals will be spread across, and your accompaniment will usually be spread across. If you're working with loops, they've already done that for you. Okay? If you're not working with loops, we'll talk about some techniques for making things stereophonic. Often it'll be when you mic it. And when we go mic the ensembles, we're going to be doing that. Any questions there? All right. EQ. So let's take a look at EQ. We have a song playing, but most of what all of us are hearing right now is this room and those speakers, right? Because I know this because when I played the song yesterday, totally different components, it still had the same quality to it. There's the kind of woody tonal thing in these speakers, 2 to 500K, or 2 to 500 hertz. It's just like murky, but it's the bottom of spoken word, and these are designed for spoken word, right? So I'm going to go, and now what I'm going to do is not EQ my song, but I'm going to try to EQ those speakers, unfortunately, right? So you have to be really careful. But I hear a little bit of murkiness around that bass and the kick, because they both don't have a lot of overtones on them. Okay? They're both kind of a dark sound. So I'm going to go in there and take a look and see if I can't get those guys to separate just a little bit with some EQ. So if I want to EQ, I'm going to close this loops window, and I'm going to go over here and hit this I button. And the track that I'm on is selected, just like we talked about on the last week. I'm going to go into the bass, and I'm going to pull up the EQ. Well, you can do that by clicking Audio Effects and going down to EQ, Channel EQ. They give you a shortcut for it here. I don't know why they bother with this, but since I'm lazy, I'm just going to click it there, hit play. And I'm just going to look at that bass track real quick and see if it matches what my ears are receiving. We can't hear any of this down here in those speakers. There's a lot of information going on down there that we can hear. Okay? About where we can hear with the speakers is probably right here. That's where these speakers are really good. 200 to 500 right there. Notice we can't hear any of that, right? It's still really loud. We just can't hear it. This is why bass ends up getting mixed loud so much. Okay, so how does the equalizer work? Actually, let me pull up the drums because that might be an easier place to show some of the techniques here of EQ. Okay, this is the drum track. I'm hoping you can see when the kick and the snare are hitting. Low frequency in the kick, high frequency in the snare. Notice all the room there. What's that room for? Normally with this kind of beat. Rapping. Time for some rap. Right? Right here. Right? I actually can't rap. I just couldn't think of anything in that point. Anyway. So we know just looking at this, there's a great place to fill in stuff right there, okay? So equalizer works like this. I've got filters on both ends. These are the filters. They look like a line like this. This is a shelf EQ, and these ones in the middle are called parametric EQs. Okay? Parametric EQs, the ones you probably use the most. You go under where the color matches their color, so we'll say this green, and we boost this up, and it will increase that frequency in that range. move it up, you'll hear it. So I've got amplitude going up, I've got frequency going right and left. That makes sense. Okay. The other thing I have is bandwidth, and this is how wide it is. Very narrow. Very wide. This is boosting a lot of frequencies around that center point. This is boosting a narrow part. Everybody loves the sweet tooth sound, right? That's what that sound is. It's EQ. You can make a song just like this, right? People are this good. We're going to do automation here in a few minutes. Because frankly, I've been hearing a lot of music that does this for 16 bars. And then when they get to the chorus, they go like this. Chorus. And it goes back down. I'm like, man. And I kept listening. And I actually turned it up. And then I looked up the artist and I saved the song. Because it was so ridiculous and I loved it. Right? So, because we are repeating something and there's something changing, right? That frequency is changing. It holds our ear. It really holds our ear. So that's a parametric EQ. A shelf EQ looks like this. It raises or lowers everything above a certain point equal amount. So if I boost this 4 decibels right here, it raises everything above that point 4 decibels. Make sense? So if I just want to get the high part of the song, I can do that. In fact, I can almost get rid of the kick drum by... There's almost no kick, right? In fact, if I mute the bass... So if I didn't want the kick in this thing, I can do it. I can EQ it out. That make sense? And you might want to do that in some of your rhythm tracks, especially. Maybe you like that high part, but you don't want it conflicting with the other kick drum you have going in another track. So this is a shelf EQ. And the last thing we have is a filter. And a filter cuts everything off above a frequency, and it increases as it goes. It really cuts it out too, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you also have bandwidth in this, so you can make it sharper, and as it gets sharper, it has a little resonant point on it. And this is the sound that you hear a lot. Right? So this is the sweeping filter. This is a high pass or low pass filter.
Like low pass and high pass, they filter the opposite one out, right?
Yeah, so when you say low pass, this is a low pass or high cut filter, however you want to call it.
Okay, so a low pass would let all the low pass
Like this. And high pass would be the opposite, right? I mean, that kick is gone. Okay. So for the most part, you are going to use these parametric EQs. I'm hoping for subtle adjustments. You'll be using the filters for drastic adjustments. Shelf EQ, you probably won't be using that much. Probably won't be using that much. Maybe on the whole mix or something like that, but rarely on the okay. Questions on that? And each one you have frequency, amplitude, and bandwidth. Yes?
So let's say you want to do like one of the EQs when you want to do transition from a bridge to a chorus or whatever you want to do. Would that mean you have to make another whole track and then slowly apply each EQ to a different track? Because
So automation, which I'm about to show you, where you change these parameters over time, is really cool for effect and really a pain in the butt for maintenance. So if you have a different setting you want in a chorus and a verse that isn't like sweeping like that and doing something cool, I'd recommend having 2 tracks. I'd recommend having 2 tracks. So you can just block out that EQ as a separate thing and not have to mess around with it. Because you could end up with tons and tons of lines and stuff all over your track and you just can't tell what's going on. So it's just that's an organizational decision that you can make on your end. All right, that's EQ. All right. So I'm gonna see if I can't do a little EQ. I'm just gonna listen to this bass and rhythm. And I was hoping maybe I could, like I said, I think the main thing on EQing is the speakers, because as I look at these frequencies, they're pretty good here. But you'll see that bass really, here's the kick, right? And that bass are really in the same range, right? They're borderline fighting. You know, I might decide to bring down some of the bass. Now, unfortunately, we can't hear that. These speakers aren't that good, right? So I'm a little worried about some of the interaction there. I'm gonna. You hear the bass's strongest notes are right there. I might just bring out a little bit right here in the bass. Yeah, it's a little too heavy there now. So I wouldn't do much more than about 3 decibels or anything. This bass has a woody sound. That's where it fits. Makes sense? Now I'm going to go look and listen to the accompaniment and see how that's fitting in with that. And just make sure that I've got enough room for that bass going on in there. Oops, that's rhythm. Yeah, and I got quite a bit here in the accompaniment part, so I think I'm gonna give that bass a little more space there. Just try to hold that down there. And actually, that one you can hear. Right in the range of the bass. Just trying to give that bass a little bit of room. I'm pulling that down a fair amount. That's about as much as I'm pulling it down. But part of the reason is this has got a really nice frequency response across the spectrum, right? So I can take out pieces of it and it'll still sustain as well. Just give it a little room for that bass there. And see how that leads. You can see there's a lot of information right up here. 5K range, right? The piercing part, right? I'm just going to make sure there's enough room in the accompaniment for that to do its thing. It's going to come back. I don't want that much bandwidth. I'm going to make it a little narrower. Give just a little bit of room for the lead there. So here, I'm going to turn on and off the EQ. Now, the problem is I'm fundamentally changing that sound of the accompaniment, right? It sounds a little quiet now, so I'm going to see, well, can I bring it up? Not have it stuck in the tone. That's as radical the EQ as I do right there on this song. Make sense? We're getting the song to sit together. Bagpipe sure can cut through, get it. That's how I'd use EQ. Questions? Is that a question? No? I thought Mario was asking a question.
Mario's hungry.
I know, me too.
Did I say something?
You guys want to take a break and eat?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's do that.
I'm